Oh, hello, my name's Aidan Monaghan and I work with Omnia, and we have a machine here, Terra Mapping, for looking at soil variation in terms of nutrients and soil texture, organic matter and carbon. So we're here at the Banff and Buchan Monitor Farm, and I've just been asked to explain some of the key things that Bruce could be doing to look at his journey towards net zero. So key is really pH and looking at liming and how through that we can improve productivity of all the livestock or crops on this farm. So we've got here a scan map of pH, and here we've got a very low band of pH running through the back of this field. The rest of the field is in quite good order. So that's really key for Bruce, is to address this low pH area, even up the field, build up the pH with lime as required, which will make a massive difference in terms of the performance and productivity of the farm.
Hi, I'm Lynn White's Scottish Forestry's Forestry and Farming Development Officer. Happy to be here today at Bruce's talking about trees and everything like that. And even more delighted that Bruce asked us to come along and be part of the day, and got one of our woodland officers to come out and have a look at the farm and see where he could possibly plant some trees. So obviously we're all looking at net zero and carbon and everything like that, and everybody thinks trees, that's the answer. But trees can do a lot more for you. We can look at shelter and shade, productivity, fertility, better daily live weight gain, better mothering ability, riparian planting, obviously slowing down water, flood management, again, great for other things that are in the water like the fish, giving them dappled shade and things like that. So it's not just the livestock we need to look after, it's everything else round about. Obviously going forward, we're looking at climate change and that, so shade's going to be really important. We all think about shelter, but shade's going to be really important. Looking at productivity, back to that again. Fertility, the dairy industry is obviously really looking at having shade, and milk production has been really affected with that. So it doesn't need to be a dairy cow, it could be a beef cow, it could be your ewes and things like that. So looking at the point of view that trees are great, they can be integrated into your business in many different ways to help your farming business go forward.
Hello, I'm Tim Geraghty. I'm a vet working here in the northeast of Scotland and part of the management committee for the Monitor Farm at Bruce Irvin's at Saucontree. So today we've been focusing on farming for net zero. We had a fantastic talk at the start of the day where we were reminded that animal health is a win-win when we think about net zero, because we're reducing our carbon footprint at the same time as bringing money on farm. And so our talk this afternoon has been focusing on the sheep flock, which are here behind us at Saucontree, and thinking about the animal health risks facing that flock now. So we're in early June. We're looking forwards to the summer. The lambs have just had their 8-week wait. And we're thinking, and things are good so far. So the lambs are growing at 330 grams a day in that first 8-week window, which is bang on target where we wanted them. But we can't be complacent. So we've been thinking about the risks facing that flock now over the next 2 and 3 months. So we've been talking a lot about clostridial disease. We've been talking a lot about worms. We've been talking a lot about putting high quality pasture in front of the ewes now, and high quality pasture in front of the lambs come July and August. And so the main take home messages have been, please have targets set, know what your growth rates should be, what should they be in 8 weeks, what should they be by weaning, what should they be post weaning. Talk to your vet about that and set up a target for your flock. Number 2, do an 8-week wait, find out the data. Let's see what the growth rates are. If there's an early problem in growth rates, we can respond to that now. And it's a great time to handle them. For example, to start giving clostridial vaccines, to be doing a nematovirus worming dose, to be thinking about fly control, possibly coccidiosis. So it's a great time to be handling the flock. So that's take home 2. Take home 3 is have a weaning strategy. We need those lambs to go on to high quality, low parasite grass in about a month from now. So that's not going to happen by itself, that needs a plan. So we need a weaning strategy that allows those lambs to do that. And then finally, we've been casting our minds slightly further forwards towards weaning in the ewes and next year, and think about monitoring for iceberg diseases in the ewe flock. So if we've got a thin ewe at weaning, that doesn't gain weight after weaning, the best thing we can do to proportion those ewes is have them in the post-mortem room, and let's start looking for iceberg diseases and dealing with them if we have them. So we're farming for net zero using animal health. It's a win-win, and we've been focusing on the summer period.
So I'm John Gilliland. I'm an environmental advisor both to Quality Meat Scotland and to AHDB. I'm here today at the Monitor Farm of Bruce's, and we're actually sharing part of the journey that I personally have been on my personal farm in Northern Ireland about how do we learn to go on net zero, and the key things around that is what are our numbers. And really the experience that we've learnt in Northern Ireland is you really need to baseline. And once you get baseline, you actually then have an understanding, where are my emissions coming from? Where are my carbon stocks? Where am I good? Where am I not so good? Where do I focus on improvement? I'm delighted to say that both Quality Meat Scotland and AHDB have come together around a unique baselining pilot project here in Great Britain. And I would greatly encourage any farmer interested who wants to go on this journey to fill in an expression of interest and actually go on this journey with us to actually understand how best do we deliver net zero. So my key takeaway from today is actually looking at the whole system on the farm, both livestock and arable, starting looking at the productivity in the animals, age of slaughter, animal health. In the case of the soil, what's the soil pH, what's the soil fertility, getting those right, but then having a really good crop rotation. From that, actually then being able to go through a calculator and start to baseline and benchmark the performance of the farm against our peers. And it's only when we go through that baselining and benchmarking do we truly get an understanding. We're better informed about what we do on our own farms.